What's interesting about these reports is Greg Bedard was one of the guys, and he's like the Matt Mayoko of New England. He's extremely.
How does he spell his name?
Bedard. Bedard. Okay. He's telling about the Patriots and that this is plan A for them. And he was saying, now it's true, John Lynch recently went on a podcast and said that he, without hesitation, he believes Jimmy Garoppolo will be the week 1 starter for the 49ers. He says, listen, the perception that I get around the league is that John Lynch has no power in that organization. And it's not just that he has no power, it's that Kyle Shanahan may actually keep him in the dark on really serious matters like this. So when John Lynch is saying, yeah, I believe it, he may have as much of an insight into Kyle Shanahan's plan as you or me, which I thought was very interesting. I mean, even out here, we're not that cynical about John Lynch. If that's the perception about him around the league, wow.
Iggy, Bedard is someone has credibility.
Yes, he's been around a long time. Extremely credible.
And you assume he has sources in the league?
A ton. League-wide.
Yeah. So, okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's accurate on this. What a sad state of affairs. And I want to say in a couple of ways, it's a very sad state of affairs for the 49ers that they would have a general manager with no power. But what about John Lynch? Again, I knew him as a young man. I don't know him now. He strikes me as a dynamic, intelligent guy who has the world in his fist.
Yes.
Why would he accept that? Why wouldn't he go to another team or go back to broadcasting or whatever? Why would he accept being diminished publicly like that and being diminished in the organization? I look at it from Lynch's point of view. What a sad, sad thing.
Absolutely. It's a really sad. He doesn't need to do this. He's a Hall of Fame player. He was an excellent announcer. He has a great life that's back in San Diego. I don't think his family's up here with him. He's really, it's like a sacrifice to come up and prove himself again. And he's up here doing what? I mean, he can't take credit for anything apparently. And they're using him as like what? Just to throw people off the scent. Like let John Lynch go out and talk and say things and it'll just confuse people. That's really bleak.
And the idea that Shanahan may not even share his plans with him. I mean, if that's the case, again, I don't know. So I'm not talking about this as fact. I'm talking about this as a report. But if Shanahan doesn't share with him, what does that say about Shanahan? What does it say about the kind of person he is? I mean, it makes him seem small-minded.
Paranoid.
If it's true, small-minded, mean-spirited.
What I initially thought of was, it's like he's Michael Corleone, and the only person he trusts is Don Corleone, his dad. The only person he might tell his inner secrets are his dad and Tom Hagen. Like John Lynch is basically Tom Hagen. Like you're the front man for the organization, but when times get tough, I just don't trust you because you're not a Sicilian. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You're out wartime constantly. You're out, Tom. But he just wasn't Sicilian. Sorry, I can't trust you. Yeah. And I just feel like that's the thing with John Lynch.
He's not Shanahan.
You're not a Shanahan. You're not in the family. Yeah. You're an adopted guy. You're a good face of the organization. You make us look legit, but you're not in the inner sanctum. Sorry.
You're out, John.
You're out, John. That's the way I look at it. Like Kyle is Michael Corleone, ruthless, and his dad is Mike. Don Corleone is Mike. I think he's basically the head. He's the GM and the head scout for the 49ers, Kyle and Mike. And John Lynch is there to make it look legit. You know, he's the money launderer.
He's the consigliere.
He's the consigliere. Yeah, he's the guy with the law degree. Anyway, that's how I see it. John, you don't need to be Tom Hagen.
And he only has one client.
He only has one client. That's right. John, you don't need to be Tom Hagen. Come on.
No, John. Call me up. We'll talk. I have a certain amount of wisdom.
Yeah, you know what? One of these days, you're going to end up cutting off a horse's head and putting it in someone's. You don't want to end up that way because Tom Hagen had to do some tough stuff. John.
Because right now, if you're not cutting off a horse's head, you're a horse's, and I'm not going to say the next word.